we know you are a conscientious objector in Israel, and we would like to know your personal story and why you did it, how it happened, and why you did this objection.
So my name is Atalya Ben Abba. I'm 20 years old. I was born and raised in Jerusalem, and I decided to object to serve in the Israeli military because I object to be a part of the Israeli occupation. I refuse to be a part of an oppressive, cruel military regime over millions of Palestinians. And because of that, I was 110 days in the Israeli military prison. I had 4 separate imprisonment, a month each time, and each time I was called to enlist, and each time I resisted to enlist.
And you are a part also of an organization of conscientious objectors. Can you tell us something about this organization?
Yes, I'm a part of an organization that's called Mesarvot. It's a feminist group that has female refusers and male refusers who object to serve on account of it. Who object to serve because they refuse to take part in the occupation. We are called Mesarvot because Mesarvot is the action of refusing, the female pronoun of saying it.
How many conscientious objectors are you at the moment in Israel?
At the moment there's one girl in prison. She's already been 90 days in the Israeli military prison. Her name is Ayelet Brenchfeld. She is very brave and powerful, and we need to support her because being in the Israeli military prison is very difficult. So we do a lot of demonstration. We go to the mountain in front of the prison, and we demonstrate, and we hope that she hears our voice and our support for her. And in the last, 4 years maybe, there have been about 14 conscientious objectors, but there are a lot of people who object in other ways, because in Israel you can get out of the army by either having a mental illness or a physical illness or being very religious. So there are many people who use these methods in order to get out of military service.
How many people of the total population of conscripts actually serve their military service?
About 50%.
About 50%. We know that there are also some deserters.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us something about them?
Yes. Actually, in the military prison, I think about 70% are deserters. And those are people who desert because they have no other choice. Because you don't get paid a lot of money serving in the military. And for someone that has to take care of their family, or that has to, that doesn't have support from a family and needs to take care of only herself, it's very difficult to be in the military because you have to work and you have to earn your own money. And the army has all kinds of solutions for that, but there are many people who, who don't reach those solutions, and they desert because they have no other choice, and then they're being put in the military prison.
For how long?
It depends for how long you desert. If you, I think under 80 days it's about a month, but if you desert for a year and a half, it can be much longer. It can be a few months, something like that.
And what do you think is the percentage of the deserters among the whole population that does not go to prison, to military?
I don't know. It's difficult to say because the army doesn't give us. They don't give us this information. It's all, what we hear, what we gather. There's no for me, there's no accurate way of knowing how many.
We hear that there's a lot of sexual harassment in Israel because of the militarism in the society, but also a lot of sexual harassment inside the army itself. Can you say something about it?
Yes, there is cases of sexual harassment and a major amount of them does happen inside of the military. It's awful and it's sad, and because in the military there's military law that the ones who make judgment are military officers. So there's a lot of, how do I say it, cooperation between people, because the one who judges you is another officer, and if you're a high officer and the judge is a friend of yours that is a high officer, then the punishment won't be as harsh as it should be. So people are protecting each other in this system.
And what do you think the percentage of the sexual harassment inside the army against women, what do you think it could be?
Again, there's nobody gives us this information. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's complicated. The sexual harassment in the military has all sorts of because on paper it's illegal for an officer to date one of his subordinates because he's taking advantage of his power as a high officer. So even if she agrees, it's still considered sexual harassment or sexual assault because it's illegal. That there are all kinds of loopholes and ways that if one of them transfers to another department, then it's fine. And so I wish I have specific numbers, but I don't.
So finally, what would you say about the impact of the struggle of conscientious objectors or refusers of the army in any way? What is the impact on the Palestinian struggle?
I think first of all the impact is with showing solidarity. That I think if we want to actually work together with the Palestinians, if we want to cooperate with them in an honest way, in a way that is in an equal way, then we cannot serve in the military. Because I feel like for me, if I come to a Palestinian and I want him to work together with me, but I'm also a soldier, then it lacks the commitment, I think. So first of all, it's a big and powerful act of solidarity. And I think for the Israeli community, it's a way of speaking out, of making our voice be heard when it's a voice that no one in Israel really hears, or nobody really says it out loud, that we shouldn't continue this occupation and that we shouldn't serve in it. And it's pretty rare in Israel to hear that voice spoken out clearly. And I think that's one of our most important that's one of our most important jobs as conscientious objectors, to speak out, to make sure that people know and they know why we do what we do.
So we want to thank you for coming here to Greece for our meeting, and we wish you a very nice return.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.